On behalf of the Colorado Department of Revenue, it is my pleasure to introduce you to the department's sales and use tax system called SUTS. I look forward to helping you connect the dots between the SUTS online sales tax filing platform and Colorado's destination sourcing laws. This webinar covers an introduction to and overview of the Sales and Use Tax System, SUTS, sales and use taxes collected by the Colorado Department of Revenue and collected by home rule self-collecting cities, differences between our online customer portals, SUTS and Revenue Online, how to sign up for a SUTS user login, how to complete a SUTS registration and add and confirm locations. We'll also explain how SUTS users can connect to a business that has registered in SUTS, how to file and pay sales taxes, and view SUTS activities. Finally, we'll let you know where to find SUTS resources and tools from our website. There are hundreds of local taxing jurisdictions throughout Colorado, and due to destination sourcing laws, businesses are required to file a sales tax return to each of the jurisdictions where the business had sales. Many of the filing options available require businesses to submit sales tax returns and payments separately to the state and to each self-collecting home rule city. This means a business with sales to customers throughout Colorado may be required to file hundreds of returns, all while using different filing systems and methods. This is where SUTS comes in. The Sales and Use Tax System, SUTS, is an optional online sales tax filing platform. The major benefit of using SUTS is that it is the only online filing platform that allows businesses to submit a single consolidated return and payment to both the state of Colorado and to local home rule self-collecting cities that participate in SUTS. Depending on a business's needs, there are 3 filing methods that can be used to remit sales taxes through SUTS: directly online, by uploading an Excel filing spreadsheet, or by uploading an XML bulk file. Based on stakeholder feedback, the Sales and Use Tax System is currently undergoing renovations for improvements to meet the needs of businesses of all shapes and sizes. Improvements to SUTS will occur in phases over the next few years. The first phase, which we'll cover during this webinar, is referred to as SUTS 2.0. During the first phase, expect to see new and improved changes to the main customer user interface, the Excel spreadsheet filing option, and a new option for direct data entry filing. While businesses can begin using the newest version right away, we understand that not everything will work perfectly, as is common with most renovations. This is why SUTS users can continue to use the former version of SUTS, called SUTS Legacy, until all major renovations are completed. Home rule self-collecting jurisdictions are a unique part of Colorado, but they are also often a source of confusion. This is why we'll be starting with the differences between state-collected and self-collecting home rule city sales and use taxes. Please pay close attention. Sales tax is generally calculated based on where the end user of the tangible personal property first takes possession of the taxable product or service. This is called destination sourcing. Let's consider an example of how destination sourcing works. If I purchase a sofa at a furniture store, throw it in the back of my truck, and drive it home myself, I must pay the sales tax rate that applies to the furniture store's physical location, because that is where I first took possession of the sofa. If I purchase a sofa at the same furniture store, but I have it delivered to my home, I must pay the sales tax rate that applies to my home address because that is where I first took possession of the sofa. If I purchase a sofa for a friend as a gift at that same furniture store, but I have it shipped to my friend's home across town, I must pay the sales tax rate that applies to my friend's home address because that is where the end user, my friend, first took possession of the sofa. A good way to remember destination sourcing is point of delivery equals point of possession equals point of taxation. More information on destination sourcing, sales tax requirements, and general rules can be found in the Colorado Sales Tax Guide and the Sales and Use Tax Rules publication. Links to these and all other resources referenced during this webinar can be found in the Important Links document from our website. Since Colorado has over 400 local taxing jurisdictions, the department created the Geographic Information System, or GIS. The Geographic Information System is used to look up specific and complete sales tax rates by Colorado address. Each address has a unique 6-digit jurisdiction location code based on local sales tax rates, which is used to set up physical and non-physical locations through Revenue Online. The GIS helps taxpayers and businesses verify the correct sales taxes are collected and remitted. Sales tax rates can also be referenced on the Colorado Sales and Use Tax Rates, Form DR1002, which is updated every 6 months on January 1st and July 1st. Links to the DR1002 form, the GIS system, and GIS support contact information are included in the Important Links document for this webinar. The Colorado Department of Revenue, in addition to collecting state sales and use tax, collects sales tax on behalf of several cities, counties, and special districts. These jurisdictions are referred to as state-collected. All Colorado counties that impose a sales tax are state-collected, except for Denver and Broomfield counties. Cities that have enacted a home rule charter and which have elected to administer their own local sales and use taxes are referred to as self-collected. Self-collected jurisdictions have the right to establish their own regulations regarding those goods and services upon which to impose their local sales and use taxes. Self-collected cities must be contacted directly for that information. There are currently 68 Home Rule self-collecting cities. Of the 68 Home Rule cities that are self-collecting, 66 participate in SUTS, and only 2, Telluride and Delta, do not currently participate in SUTS. Please contact Telluride and Delta for instructions on how to file and pay the city-collected portion of the total sales taxes directly. Now that you know the differences between state-collected and home rule self-collected city sales taxes and where to find tax rates, let's see how it all works. Using our Lakewood Taxpayer Services address at 1881 Pierce Street, Lakewood, Colorado 80214, the Colorado Department of Revenue collects 2.90% for the state, 0.50% for Jefferson County, 1.00% for the Regional Transportation District, or RTD, and 0.10% for the Cultural District, or CD, for a total of 4.50% in state-collected sales taxes. The Home Rule City of Lakewood elects to collect 3.00% directly from businesses for a total sales tax rate of 7.50% for this location, jurisdiction code 11-0059. To further simplify this concept, let's consider a sales tax pie. In this example, the entire pie is the total tax rate of 7.5% for the taxing jurisdiction code 11-0059 in Lakewood. To correctly file and pay both the Home Rule City of Lakewood and the Colorado Department of Revenue, we must cut the pie accordingly. The first slice removed from the pie is smaller and contains only one tax rate, Lakewood's 3% city tax. This piece of pie is given directly from the business to the city for consumption and can be remitted either through SUTS or another method administered by the city of Lakewood. The rest of the pie is given directly from the business to the Colorado Department of Revenue. This portion is larger because it is made up of 4 different sales tax rates: 2.9% for Colorado State, 0.5% for Jefferson County, 1% for the Regional Transportation District, and 0.1% for the Cultural District, for a total tax rate of 4.5%. Colorado will consume its 2.9% portion, then slice and distribute the rest of the pie with the applicable counties and special districts. Please note that the 4.5% slice of the sales tax pie must be filed and paid using only one method, either through Revenue Online or through SUTS. Submitting returns or payments using a combination of filing and payment methods will result in processing and payment errors. Next, we'll take a closer look at the online tools available for businesses to remit sales taxes collected from their customers to the Colorado Department of Revenue and to self-collecting cities. As a friendly reminder, SUTS is a sales tax filing system only. A Colorado Department of Revenue sales tax license and account can only be managed through Revenue Online. Revenue Online is an administrative portal to manage tax accounts for the Colorado Department of Revenue. Some of the primary actions you can perform through Revenue Online include making changes to a Colorado tax account, such as updating the business name, mailing address, or contact information, sending a secure message, submitting a power of attorney or e-file attachment, and applying for or renewing a tax license. You can also file and pay state-collected sales taxes. I want to pause here as this is very important and a common question we get regarding SUTS. You must use Revenue Online to file and pay all other state-administered and collected taxes and fees. This includes the retail delivery fee, consumer use tax, special events sales tax, excise tax, county lodging, or local marketing tax. To amend returns for state-administered and collected taxes and fees, including sales tax, use Revenue Online. SUTS does not currently allow for amending returns. You must also use Revenue Online to add or remove state taxing jurisdiction locations. In the future, we anticipate this feature will be available in SUTS. Again, this is not an exhaustive list. Please visit Revenue Online for more information. Here's another important reminder. Sales taxes for self-collecting cities cannot be remitted through Revenue Online and must be remitted using SUTS or directly to each Home Rule self-collecting city. SUTS is primarily used to remit sales taxes to the Department of Revenue and Home Rule self-collecting cities in one step. SUTS can be used to file and pay state-collected sales taxes, apply for a Colorado State sales tax license, file and pay Home Rule self-collecting city sales taxes, and remit use taxes to self-collecting jurisdictions that allow it. Contact self-collecting Home Rule jurisdictions directly to perform actions such as managing a local tax account, filing and paying self-collecting city sales taxes, filing and paying use taxes to self-collecting jurisdictions, amending a tax return for self-collecting city sales taxes, or responding to a letter from the home rule city. For example, if a home rule self-collecting city assesses penalties on a missing or late filed return or payment submitted through SUTS, the business must contact the home rule city directly. The Colorado Department of Revenue has no access to home rule city information, such as local account numbers, nor can the department waive home rule city assessed penalties or interest. To contact self-collecting cities directly, please reference Form DR 1002. Continuing our earlier example, let's look at ways the business can submit the 7.5% of sales taxes on sales into the City of Lakewood. State-collected sales taxes are filed and paid to the Colorado Department of Revenue. Self-collecting city sales taxes are filed and paid to each home rule self-collecting city. State-collected sales taxes can be filed and paid using one of the following methods: by filing a paper DR 0100 retail sales tax return with payment by mail, through Revenue Online, or through the SUTS filing platform. Home rule self-collecting city sales taxes can be filed and paid using one of the following methods: through the Sales and Use Tax Filing Platform for self-collecting cities that currently participate in SUTS, directly through each self-collecting city's online filing platform, or other methods as administered by each self-collecting city. If a business chooses to file directly to each self-collecting city to which the business had sales, the business will need to contact self-collecting cities for instructions. As you can see, there are lots of options and ways to file. For example, some businesses opt to file and pay state-collected sales taxes using Revenue Online and self-collecting city sales taxes using SUTS. This allows businesses to choose the best method that meets their needs, since businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Continuing our example, the business will use the SUTS online filing platform to file and pay both the 4.5% of state-collected sales taxes to the Colorado Department of Revenue and the 3% of self-collecting city sales taxes to Lakewood. This webinar is specific to the SUTS filing platform. If you would like to use another method to file and pay sales taxes, please contact the department or home rule self-collecting cities. We also encourage you to register for one of our monthly sales tax webinars. To register, please visit our website. Now, let's focus our attention on the 4 steps to get a business set up with a SUTS account. The first step is to sign up for a SUTS user login. Second, all businesses must complete a SUTS registration. This includes new businesses with no Colorado sales tax account and established businesses with an existing Colorado sales tax account. Third, businesses using SUTS to remit state-collected sales taxes will need to start by adding local taxing jurisdiction locations through an existing Revenue Online account before remitting state-collected taxes using SUTS. And fourth, all businesses must confirm account numbers and locations in SUTS. Let's start with signing up for a SUTS user login.
Businesses can access SUTS by going to Tax.Colorado.gov. Select Online Services, then, under the Sales and Use Tax System menu, select Visit SUTS. Please note that the dates and values used in this webinar are for illustration purposes only and subject to change. If you do not yet have a SUTS account, we encourage you to follow along to create your own. From the main menu, select Sign Up. Enter your email address, then select Verify Email Address. You will receive a verification the email was sent. Please open a separate internet browser and go to your email inbox. Select the email you received from GovOS. GovOS is the approved third-party vendor for SUTS. To activate your SUTS account, select the blue hyperlink. A new web page will appear, Email Verified. Select Begin Registration to continue. Start by entering a new password, then re-enter the new password. The password must be 9 or more characters in length and cannot contain your email address or name. The password must also contain both letters and numerals, at least one special character, and both upper and lowercase letters. Scroll down to the next section. In the Contact Information section, enter your name, phone number, and address. The country will default to the United States. Select I agree to the terms of use and continue to proceed. You will be redirected back to the login web page. Enter your email address and new password, then select Sign In. To complete the SUTS user account setup, use the vertical scroll bar to read the Terms of Use agreement. Then select I accept the terms of use and submit. You will receive an email confirmation upon successfully signing up for a SUTS user login. Please retain the confirmation for your records. If you do not receive this email or experience issues creating a SUTS user login, please contact our Taxpayer Services team for further assistance. Congratulations on creating a SUTS user login. Before we move on, let's take a quick tour of the SUTS user homepage. While updates are being made to SUTS, you will have the option to switch back and forth between the past SUTS user layout, called SUTS Legacy, and the new layout. Select Use Previous Layout to revert to SUTS Legacy. To switch back to the new layout, select Go Back to New Layout. The sidebar menu will help you to navigate SUTS and has 3 options: the dashboard, manage accounts, and sales tax rates. We'll start with the dashboard menu option. The dashboard will display announcements. Select View All to view all the important announcements. The dashboard will also display the business details of the registered SUTS account you are currently viewing. In this case, there is none, so the information appears as pending. To leave product feedback or access product resources, FAQs, and guided tours, select the question mark icon from the sidebar menu and a pop-up menu will appear. Select Help from the top menu bar for additional product FAQs and quick links. Please note that SUTS product help resources and tools are created and maintained by the SUTS vendor GovOS and not by the Colorado Department of Revenue. For department-specific SUTS help and resources, please visit the department's website at Tax.Colorado.gov. Throughout this training, we'll share more information with you about the Manage Accounts menu option. The last menu option, Sales Tax Rates, allows you to link to the Geographic Information System, GIS, to look up sales tax rates, or request an Application Programming Interface key. An API key is generally for businesses that have their own custom in-house point-of-sale system. For more information or assistance on API keys, please email DOR_location-filers@state.co.us.
Once a SUTS user login has been created, the next step is to complete a SUTS registration. A SUTS registration is required for all businesses, regardless of whether the business has an existing Colorado sales tax license or not. Let's start by reviewing the two types of SUTS registrations. There are two types of SUTS registrations: a single filer registration and a bulk XML filer registration. How a business registers in SUTS determines how a business files in SUTS, so this is very important. A single filer is any taxpayer or tax professional who intends to remit sales taxes for or on behalf of one or more businesses using the direct data entry or Excel spreadsheet filing method. The majority of taxpayers and tax professionals remitting taxes on behalf of one or more businesses will register as single filers. A bulk XML filer is a third-party sales tax software compliance company that intends to remit sales taxes on behalf of multiple businesses using a combined XML filing and payment. XML is an acronym for Extensible Markup Language. Only a small minority of third-party tax firms use XML and register as bulk XML filers. If you do not intend to use XML to file, this option is not for you.
To register, you'll need to be logged into your SUTS account. Once logged in, select Manage Accounts from the sidebar menu, then Add a Business. Please note that the dates and values used in this training are for illustration purposes only and subject to change. If you plan to use SUTS but have not yet registered your business, we encourage you to log in to follow along step by step. If a business has registered in SUTS and been assigned a SUTS account number, we'll walk you through how to connect to the business's SUTS account later during this training. From the Add a Business pop-up window, there will be three options. Add a business registering in SUTS for the first time, required for non-XML filers. This option applies to most businesses. The next option only applies to a small minority of bulk XML filers, which will not be covered during this training. Please check our website often to check for updates to our training materials for bulk XML filers. The last option to connect to an established SUTS account will be covered later, so please stay with us. In our example, we are not filing via XML, but our business is new to SUTS, so we'll select the first option to add a business registering in SUTS for the first time. Select Continue to proceed. From the Business Details window, enter the business name. For the next two fields, use the appropriate drop-down menus to select the business type and your role. Under Business Location, select the circle as to whether the business is located inside Colorado or outside Colorado. Our example business sells exclusively online with taxable retail sales all over the United States, but operates out of a residential home office in Colorado. So we'll select Inside Colorado. For details about what is considered a physical location, please refer to Part 4 of the Colorado Sales Tax Guide. The link to the guide is included in the Important Links document. To minimize the sidebar menu, select Collapse. For training purposes, I'll collapse the menu going forward. To proceed, select Continue. Use the vertical scroll bar to read the registration instructions, then select Continue to proceed. From the Colorado SUTS Registration Form window, enter the legal name of the company. The Doing Business As field is optional. Enter the first day of business in Colorado, then scroll down to the next section. Enter the primary physical address for the business. A physical address cannot be a P.O. box. The country field will default to the United States. Use the drop-down menu option to select another country. Next, enter the city, select the state from the drop-down menu, then enter the postal code. Follow the same steps to enter the mailing address if different from the physical address. Under the mailing address header, select the box if the mailing address is the same. Scroll down to the next section. In the Remitter Contact Information section, please enter all required fields denoted with a red asterisk or dot. Should there be any processing issues, the individual who submitted the SUTS registration for the business may be contacted. Use the vertical scroll bar to scroll to the next section. In the first part of the Business Identification section, select the ID type. There are two options to choose from: a Federal Employer Identification Number, FEIN, or a Social Security Number, SSN. We'll select FEIN. Next, enter the ID number for the FEIN or SSN. If applicable, enter a Colorado Secretary of State ID. This field is optional. Scroll down to the next section. The second part of the business identification section is very important, so I'd like to pause here for just a moment. When asked, "Do you have a Colorado sales tax account number?" the next steps in the registration process will change depending on whether you answer yes or no. If you do not yet have a Colorado sales tax license and select no, once you complete the registration form, SUTS will prompt you to apply for a license. The online SUTS application mimics the CR0100 paper application. The next question asks, "Do you have economic nexus in more than one location?" Select yes or no. If you are unsure, please reference the Sales Tax Guide for more information on economic nexus by visiting the department's website. We'll select no since our example business only has one physical location in Colorado. To finalize the registration, enter your name and title. To proceed to the sales tax license application, select Continue. For our example, the business already has an established Colorado sales tax account number, so we'll select Yes. When selecting Yes, several new fields will appear. These fields will help to link an existing Colorado sales tax account to a business's SUTS account. To link the sales tax account to SUTS, enter the business's 8-digit Colorado sales tax account number. Re-enter the CAN in the next field to confirm it. Scroll down to the next section. Select Find Account and a gray box will appear requesting you to verify this is your business. If everything appears correct, select This is my information. If not, please make sure you entered the correct FEIN or SSN and Colorado account number, CAN, for your business before moving on. Use your scroll bar to scroll down to the next section. To certify under penalty of perjury that the information is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, enter your name and title. Select Continue and a pop-up window will appear confirming the creation of your SUTS account. Select Continue from the pop-up window and it will close automatically. Select Continue again to move on to the next screen. On the confirmation page, please read the information for the next steps to finalize your account setup in SUTS. To complete the registration, select Continue. The SUTS account number and activation code will appear on your SUTS homepage and dashboard. In this example, The SUTS account number is 050578 and activation code is TRJSYD. Should you choose to share your SUTS account information with others, such as a third-party sales tax filer, select the link Share Activation Code and a pop-up window will appear. Select Copy Data from the pop-up window, then use your Paste keyboard controls to paste the data into the body of an email, document, or other preferred method.
Once a SUTS registration has been completed, businesses using SUTS to remit state-collected sales tax must add local taxing jurisdiction locations through an existing Revenue Online account. New businesses that do not yet have a Colorado sales tax license can apply through SUTS during the SUTS registration process, but they won't be able to file and pay state-collected sales taxes until the sales tax license application and license payment have been received and processed. When submitting an online application, the official sales tax license should be received by mail in about 3 weeks. Once received, the business can sign up for a Revenue Online account at Colorado.gov/Revenue Online. Through Revenue Online, the business can then add state taxing jurisdiction locations where sales occurred. Please note that this step is only required to remit state-collected sales taxes to the Colorado Department of Revenue. As this webinar is specific to SUTS, please reference your Important Links document for links to instructions and training videos to add locations through Revenue Online.
After a business has registered in SUTS and added state locations through Revenue Online, the next step to setting up a SUTS account is to add the local home rule cities participating in SUTS where the business had sales. To do so, select Manage Accounts. Find the business's SUTS account and select View Dashboard. Scroll down to the My Location section of the business's dashboard. Select Add Location and a pop-up window will appear. From the pop-up window, use the drop-down menu to select the self-collecting home rule city from the list of menu options. In our example, the business had sales into the home rule city of Lakewood, so the business must first add it to their SUTS account to be able to file. So we will select Lakewood. Please pay close attention, as this is a common misunderstanding among SUTS users and very important. If the business does not have a local account number, that's okay. You do not need a local account number to file. Once you file the first sales tax return to a home rule city, the city will assign a local account number to the business, add it to the business's SUTS account for future filings, and notify the business of any local home rule city sales tax requirements for their jurisdiction. For our first example, let's assume the business has not yet filed a return with the city of Lakewood. In this case, we can simply leave the local account number field blank and select Save. Once saved, the self-collected city will appear in the My Location section of the business's SUTS dashboard. Once the city has received the first tax return and assigned a local account number, it will be added to the business's SUTS account. Now let's assume our business previously filed to the home rule city of Fort Collins and was assigned a local account number. In this case, enter the local account number into the search field. Then select the search icon and save. If a match exists, you will be prompted to confirm it. Select Confirm, then select Save. Once the account number has been confirmed, select Save. The self-collected city will appear in the My Location section of the business's SUTS dashboard. Confirmed account numbers will appear under the local account number header. Please note that state account numbers are also displayed in this column. The final step to setting up a SUTS account is to confirm all locations. Once this step is complete, you are ready to file. To update state locations added through Revenue Online, select Refresh. To update local home rule city account numbers, select Confirm. The state and home rule self-collecting cities update location and account information often. So before each filing, it is highly recommended you repeat these actions to ensure your filing includes the most up-to-date information. There are also different ways to view the My Locations data. You can filter confirmed locations by selecting Show All or Show Unconfirmed. Use the search field for a more specific search and select a header to sort the data. For example, you can sort state and self-collected locations by selecting the header Account Type.
The three methods to file a sales tax return in SUTS are by directly entering the tax data online, by entering the tax data in a spreadsheet, or, for bulk filers, formatting and uploading an XML spreadsheet. As a reminder, due to the complexity of this filing method, bulk XML filing will not be covered during this introductory webinar. Should you need assistance with XML spreadsheet filing, please contact DOR_multilocations at state.co.us. Now let's discuss how to connect to a business registered in SUTS, as well as the ins and outs of direct data entry filing.
From the sidebar menu of the SUTS homepage, select Manage Accounts. Select Add a Business and a pop-up window will appear. From the pop-up window, select I'm connecting to an established SUTS account. Connect to a business registered in SUTS. To minimize the sidebar menu, select Collapse. I'll do that now for training purposes. Select Continue to proceed. Here is where the SUTS account number and activation code are important. A very common error we see is tax professionals and taxpayers attempting to use the sales tax account number to find a business in SUTS. To be clear, a business must have registered in SUTS and been assigned a 6-digit account number to connect to the business's SUTS account. Enter the 6-digit SUTS account number and the 6-character activation code. Then select Lookup Account. In our example, SUTS found a matching account. To connect, use the drop-down menu to select your role for the business and Connect to Business to proceed. If successful, the business and all other businesses connected to your SUTS user login will appear under the Connected Business section of the screen. To hide a business connected to your SUTS user login, select the business, then select Hide and a pop-up menu will appear. To continue, select Hide Business from the pop-up menu. To remove a business connected to your SUTS user login, select the business, then select Remove and a pop-up menu will appear. To continue, select Remove Business from the pop-up menu. Please note that removing a SUTS account from your SUTS user login does not close a business's SUTS account, nor their sales tax account. Please contact the department for assistance on closing a business's SUTS or sales tax account. To return to your homepage, select the Colorado Department of Revenue logo from the upper left corner of the screen. To access SUTS accounts connected to your SUTS user login, select Manage Accounts from the sidebar menu options. Through Manage Accounts, you can also select the business account, then remove or hide the business connected to your login. From this section, you can also use the Add a Business feature to connect with an established SUTS account or complete a SUTS registration for a new or existing business. To view a SUTS account for a particular business, select View Dashboard. To file a sales tax return, go to the business's SUTS dashboard. From the Activities section, select File My Taxes. From the pop-up window, select which filing method you plan to use. In this first example, we'll select Enter My Tax Data Online. Next, select the filing period you intend to file to using the drop-down menu. We've selected January 2025. Filing frequencies are determined by the Colorado Department of Revenue based on monthly sales tax liability thresholds. Home Rule self-collecting cities participating in SUTS must conform to the same filing frequency set forth by the state. A filing period that is grayed out means the filing period is not available, and there are many reasons this could be. Select the link Why is my filing period unavailable? And a pop-up window will appear. If this does not answer your question, or if the filing frequency in SUTS appears to be incorrect, please contact Taxpayer Services for assistance. Select Continue to proceed. On the next screen, the data can be filtered by account types or using the search feature. Data can be sorted by selecting a column header. I've sorted the data by selecting the header location name. Prior to filing, confirm that all Home Rule self-collecting city locations and state locations have been added. Use the scroll bar within the tax filing to review all locations. Home Rule self-collecting cities can be added by selecting Add Location. At this time, state locations must still be added through Revenue Online to remit state-collected sales taxes using SUTS. If a location does not require a $0 return, you can select the location, then select Remove. Removing a location from a filing will not remove the location from the business's SUTS account. To permanently remove a location for the business, please contact the department for assistance. In our example, all locations require a $0 return, so we have not removed any locations. Each Home Rule self-collected city location should have a corresponding state location for the same taxing jurisdiction. This is because of the total sales taxes for the taxing jurisdiction, the city collected portion is remitted to the self-collecting city, and the state collected portion is remitted to the state. For example, there is a state and self-collected line item for the Lakewood taxing jurisdiction, code 110059. Think of each row as a separate tax return that is conveniently consolidated by SUTS into one filing period remittance. Enter the gross sales for the filing period into the taxing jurisdiction for each state collected row and, if applicable, the corresponding Home Rule self-collected city row. Gross sales amounts into the same taxing jurisdiction should be the same. In this example, we have $100 in gross sales to Colorado Springs, $200 for Fort Collins, and $300 for Grand Junction. To expand your tax filing view for all locations, use a scroll bar within the tax filing. We also have $400 in gross sales for Lakewood and $500 for Pueblo. To view additional locations within the tax filing, you can also select the Rows drop-down menu and increase the number of rows to view. Once you have entered all gross sales for the filing period, select Continue to proceed. I'd like to pause here as this is very important. Data will not be saved until Continue is selected. This is why we highly recommend you select Continue often, especially when entering large amounts of data for multiple locations. Let's say in this example, we've just selected Continue, then our internet went down. Well, don't worry. So long as you selected Continue to save the data, you can get back to the tax filing you started. Go to the business's SUTS dashboard and from the Activities section, select the pending tax filing to update it. To review tax data from a previous tax filing step, select Previous. Since our business entered all gross sales, we do not need to go back and can continue on to the next step to enter deductions and exemptions. Deductions and exemptions must be entered separately for the state than for self-collected home rule cities. Select the State Schedule A tab to enter state deductions, the State Schedule B tab to enter state exemptions, and the Self-Collected tab to enter self-collecting city deductions and exemptions. You can filter the data to only show columns and locations with data greater than 0, hide $0 returns, or perform a more specific search. Let's start with State Schedule A deductions. Note that for state deductions and exemptions, only the state locations will appear. In our example, the business had $100 in wholesale sales for the city of Colorado Springs and $50 in sales sourced from the city of Lakewood to locations outside of Colorado. To view more state deductions, use the horizontal scroll bar within the tax filing. For State Schedule B exemptions, our example business had a $25 state food for home consumption exemption for sales in the city of Pueblo. To view more state exemptions, use the horizontal scroll bar. Let's do that now. If a specific exemption for a location does not contain a gray box and is blank, this indicates the exemption is not allowed for that specific taxing jurisdiction. In this example, all locations except for Lakewood do not accept the state exemption for U-heat pump systems. Other exemptions claimed require a description of what the exemption is for in the Other Exemptions Comments field. These parameters also apply to Home Rule self-collected city exemptions and deductions. Let's complete our tax return by entering Home Rule self-collected city deductions and exemptions. Note that for self-collecting city deductions and exemptions, only the self-collected locations appear. Continuing our example, the business had $100 in wholesale sales for the city of Colorado Springs and $50 in sales sourced from the city of Lakewood to locations outside of Colorado. To view more city-collected deductions and exemptions, use the horizontal scroll bar within the tax filing. We'll do that now. The business also had $25 in exempt sales of groceries in the city of Pueblo. Select Continue to save your return and proceed with the filing. The preview stage of the tax filing allows such users to drill down into each state or self-collected city location to review the gross sales, deductions and exemptions, how tax rates are applied, and to make modifications. To do so, select the link for the state or self-collected city location from the Preview menu. In this example, we'll select the self-collected city of Lakewood. A pop-up menu will appear for the location. Use the vertical scroll bar in the pop-up menu to view all the tax data for the location. In this example, the business also had $5 in sales subject to use tax. Drilling down into the self-collected city of Lakewood, the business would locate the field Amount Subject to Use Tax and enter the $5. Select Save to update the tax filing for the location. Please note that consumer use tax for the state cannot be remitted through SUTS. Go to Tax.Colorado.gov for instructions to submit consumer use tax to the state. Once saved, SUTS will automatically recalculate the taxes due for the location, as in this example, use tax was calculated and added to the total taxes due. Also, please pay close attention. Self-collecting cities may assess penalties or interest on late filed returns and payments. The department has no jurisdiction over self-collecting city-assessed penalties and interest. Businesses must contact Home Rule cities directly for more information on self-collected city-assessed penalties and interest or to request a waiver. In this example, the business is remitting sales taxes for the January 2025 filing period late, so the City of Lakewood assessed late penalties and interest. Not all self-collecting cities automatically assess penalties and interest through SUTS, but the business may still be liable if filing late. To recap, businesses must contact Home Rule cities for more information on city-assessed penalties or interest. Select Cancel to go back to the preview screen. Now let's review the state location for Pueblo to review a breakdown of state-collected sales taxes for this location. If deduction or exemption amounts have been claimed in the tax filing, a breakdown of how tax rates were applied can be viewed from the preview stage of the tax filing by drilling down into the location. Our example business claimed a $25 state food for home consumption exemption for the taxing jurisdiction in Pueblo. Use the scroll bar from the pop-up menu to scroll down to Schedule B exemptions, and there will be an option to view how tax rates are applied. Select Yes, and the breakdown of rates will appear next to each line item. If excess tax was collected, it can be added by drilling down into the location. From the location, scroll down to add any excess sales taxes collected for each applicable taxing jurisdiction. This is also where you can view totals for the state location. Note that in our example, the business is filing late, so the timely vendor fee discount was disallowed, but SUTS did not calculate any state-assessed penalties or interest. This is because state-assessed late penalties or interest are only applied, if applicable, after the department has received the SUTS return and payment. If state-assessed penalties or interest are assessed, the department will notify the business in writing of any balance due. Balances due can be viewed from your Colorado Department of Revenue Revenue Online account. We have nothing to add, so we'll select Cancel to go back to the preview screen. To proceed and save the tax filing, select Continue. Enter your name and title, then select Continue to make a payment. Please note that a corresponding payment must be made in SUTS with the tax filing, or the entire consolidated tax return will not be processed. We've selected ACH credit as our payment method. Since ACH credit payments are initiated by the payer through their bank, we'll simply select Pay. A pop-up menu will appear confirming your payment. Select Complete to finish your tax filing.
SUTS allows you to pay using an ACH credit, e-check, or credit card. There are no payment limits or processing fees for ACH credit payments or for e-check payments. There is a $5,000 payment limit and 3.3% processing fee for credit card payments. Let's pause here as this is of great importance. A consolidated tax return filed through SUTS will not be processed without a corresponding payment made through SUTS. This means that if a payment is rejected by your bank, the entire return will also be rejected. This is why it is so important to carefully read the Payment Notes section for payment requirements and information. For example, payment debit blocker IDs can be found in the Notes section and ACH credit instructions document if you have a debit block with your bank. A pre-authorization form is required to make ACH credit payments through SUTS. ACH credit payments must be initiated by the business through their bank. Once the payment is received, the return and payment will be posted to your sales tax account, usually within 7 to 10 business days. Failure to initiate an ACH credit payment through your bank on or before the due date will result in a delay or denial of your consolidated tax filing and possible penalties and interest. Use the Help feature from your SUTS homepage to access the ACH Credit Authorization Request Form and other important resources. Select Help, and from the drop-down menu, select Quick Links. From the next window, select FAQ and Guides information here. Select Click here for ACH credit payment instructions to download the request form.
In this next example, we'll demonstrate how to file using an Excel spreadsheet filing template. From the Activities section of the business's dashboard, select File My Taxes. From the pop-up menu, select Enter My Tax Data in a Spreadsheet. Use the drop-down menu to select the appropriate filing period. Our example business already filed a return for November and December, so those filing periods are now grayed out to prevent duplicate tax filings. In this example, we'll select January 2025. Select Continue to proceed. Before downloading the filing template, let's review the Excel spreadsheet filing features here. To add home rule self-collecting city locations, select Add Location and follow the prompts. Select Download Location Changes since last filing, and a spreadsheet will download to your computer. This spreadsheet is most used by SUTS users that want to update an existing Excel filing template with any location changes. If there were no changes since the last tax filing, the spreadsheet will be blank. Select Spreadsheet Tips for important tips and information. To customize or filter your spreadsheet, you have the choice of downloading a spreadsheet for all locations, state locations only, or self-collected locations only. Please note that this feature only updates the location data and not the deduction and exemptions data. In our example, we are filing sales tax returns to both the state and self-collected cities. So we'll select all locations, then Download Template. A pop-up menu will appear confirming the template was downloaded. Select Close, then select the downloaded Excel filing template from your computer. From the Excel filing spreadsheet, please read the Upload Instructions tab for important information. Learning how to format your spreadsheet correctly will save you time. Formatting the spreadsheet incorrectly with errors is one of the most frequent reasons SUTS users are not able to upload the spreadsheet. Most spreadsheet errors can be prevented by reviewing the upload instructions. From the Upload Instructions tab, there is also a link to the Allowed Deductions and Exemptions spreadsheet for self-collecting cities. This is currently required to look up and claim self-collecting city deductions and exemptions. We'll explain this in more detail soon. To get started, select Enable Editing, then select the Upload Data tab. Let's talk about the structure of the Excel filing template. To prevent processing errors, we recommend not making any changes to the pre-populated data. Column A, Account Numbers, will pre-populate all confirmed self-collecting city account numbers and state account numbers for each location.
Please do not alter this data. Column B is the account type. The local account type and rows are to report city-collected sales taxes to home rule self-collecting cities. Locations for all self-collecting cities participating in SUTS will pre-populate in the local rows of the spreadsheet. This was originally designed for your convenience. However, please note that SUTS will automatically add any self-collecting city locations to your business's SUTS account that are included in your spreadsheet. So if you are not required to file a return to a pre-populated local self-collecting city row, you can delete it. The state account type and rows are to report state-collected sales taxes. Column C is the taxing jurisdiction code for each location identified in column D as the jurisdiction name. Column E is to report gross sales. Columns F through AH are pre-populated state deductions and exemptions. These columns are only used to report deductions and exemptions for rows identified as state in column B. Please do not use the pre-populated data in these columns to report deductions and exemptions for rows identified as local in column B. This may seem a bit overwhelming, so let's look at a filing together using the same tax data we used for our earlier direct filing example. For training purposes, the spreadsheet data in this example is sorted by jurisdiction name, and columns and rows not associated with our example have been hidden. However, to avoid processing upload errors, columns and rows should not be hidden. Using the same example from our January 2025 direct data entry filing from earlier, the business had $100 in sales for Colorado Springs, $200 for Fort Collins, $300 for Grand Junction, $400 for Lakewood, and $500 for Pueblo. Notice that, just like the direct data entry filing method, the Excel filing method requires you to enter gross sales for both the state and all applicable self-collecting cities. Think of each row as a separate sales tax return for each location, consolidated by SUTS, then remitted to the state and each self-collecting city, respectively. Use tax can be reported by adding a column between column E to report gross sales and column F to report state wholesale deductions. Please note that claiming use tax on a line item where it is disallowed will cause processing errors. If preferred, you can skip adding the column to report sales subject to use tax in the spreadsheet and simply add it after you've uploaded your spreadsheet. If added directly to the spreadsheet, on row 3 of the new column, enter the header amount subject to use tax. In our example, the business had $5 subject to use tax for the self-collecting jurisdiction in Lakewood. So you will need to find the local row for Lakewood, then enter the $5 subject to use tax in the new column. As a friendly reminder, state consumer use tax cannot be filed through SUTS. This means no use tax amount should be entered for rows identified in column B as state. For Excel filing, state deductions and exemptions are pre-populated. In our example, the business had $100 in wholesale sales for Colorado Springs. To report the state deduction, find the row identified as state in column B for Colorado Springs, then enter $100 in the state deduction column for wholesale sales. Using the same logic, we can add the $50 state deduction for sales sourced from the city of Lakewood to locations outside of Colorado, and $25 state exemption for sales of food for home consumption in the city of Pueblo. When Excel spreadsheet filing, self-collecting city deductions and exemptions do not currently pre-populate and must be added. To look up the correct self-collecting city deduction and exemption ID numbers and descriptions, please reference the Local Deduction and Exemption Codes spreadsheet. The link to this resource guide can be found from the Upload Instructions tab of this workbook. We've used the Local Deduction and Exemption Code spreadsheet to add columns AI through AK to enter the self-collecting city deductions and exemptions for our example. Let's start with our wholesale sales deduction for Colorado Springs. First, we'll need to add the header deduction ID in the first row of our new column. In row 2, enter the applicable deduction identification number and, in row 3, the deduction description from the Local Deduction and Exemption Code spreadsheet. Next, I've added the amount of the deduction, $100 for the appropriate row. I've used the same logic to add columns for the $50 in sales sourced from the city of Lakewood to locations outside of Colorado and $25 in exempt grocery sales for the city of Pueblo. Once you've completed formatting your spreadsheet and entering data, the next step is to upload it. Now we'll go back to our active SUTS filing to upload the Excel filing spreadsheet. Select Choose File and a pop-up menu will appear. Find and select the filing spreadsheet saved to your computer. Then select Open from the pop-up menu. Should you find an error on your spreadsheet and need to re-upload it, select Previous. Otherwise, select Continue to proceed. Once the tax filing spreadsheet has been uploaded, Excel filers can review and make changes to the uploaded tax data. Use the inside vertical scroll bar to verify gross sales and, if applicable, make any necessary changes. Select Continue to save your tax return and move on to the next step. The next step is to review state deductions and exemptions. When reviewing state deductions and exemptions, only state locations will appear. Use the vertical and horizontal scroll bars to review or modify State Schedule A deductions. Select Continue to proceed. Scroll through the State Schedule B exemptions tax data to review it and, if applicable, make any necessary changes. Then select Continue. For self-collected city deductions and exemptions, only self-collected locations will appear. Use the scroll bar to review the uploaded self-collected city deductions and exemptions and, if necessary, make any changes. Select Continue to proceed. The next steps in the Excel filing process are the exact same as demonstrated earlier in this video using the direct data entry filing method. For instance, you can drill down into a location to adjust the data, such as to add amounts subject to use tax for self-collecting cities that allow it, or to add excess taxes collected. Once complete, select Continue to save your data. Enter your name and title, then continue to make a payment. We've selected ACH credit as our payment method. Select Pay and a pop-up menu will appear confirming your payment is complete. Select Close from the pop-up menu. To finish the transaction, select Complete. As a reminder, the consolidated tax return will not be processed unless a corresponding payment is made. Please read the Payment Notes section carefully to ensure your tax filing and payment are processed successfully. Please allow approximately 7 to 14 business days for your SUTS tax filing and payment to post to your state revenue online account and to self-collecting jurisdictions if applicable. Once a business has completed a task, it will appear in the Activities section of the business's SUTS account dashboard. Currently, the Activities section has only two options to view new and pending tasks, which is the default, or completed tasks. A third option to view all tasks as the default will be coming soon. For now, we'll select Completed to view all the business's completed tasks. Due dates will appear in the first column. All tasks in the Activities section, regardless of status, can be accessed by selecting the blue link for each task. For tax returns, the number of locations included in the return will appear in the Locations column. The Status column will display whether the task is new, pending, or complete. For each task, if applicable, the Activities section may also display due, submitted, and updated task dates, payment dates, and amounts. Transaction receipts and printable returns are available from the Actions column. Please also note that only activities performed in SUTS will appear in the Activity section. Applications, returns, and payments submitted using any other method, such as by paper or through Revenue Online, cannot be viewed through SUTS. From the Activity Actions column, select the Notepad icon to download a copy of your receipt and the PDF icon to download a copy of your tax filing. To log out, select the Account User icon from the screen's upper right corner and a pop-up menu will appear. Select Log Out from the pop-up menu.
Our motto is to always help. Our mission is to promote voluntary compliance with tax laws through education, assistance, and customer service. There are a wide variety of resources and tools available to help you be voluntarily tax compliant. For SUTS-specific assistance, please visit our website at Tax.Colorado.gov/SUTS-support. For links to other resources and tools, please reference the Important Links document from our website at Tax.Colorado.gov/training/SUTS-webinar. We also have our main website where you can access the department's forms, guidance publications, rules, and statutes, the Taxpayer Helpline, and our local service centers located in Colorado Springs, Lakewood, Fort Collins, Grand Junction, and Pueblo. All our taxpayer service centers are open to the public for walk-ins or by appointment, and each of our locations has drop boxes if you need to drop off a form. You may also send an email to our taxpayer services team at DOR_taxpayerservice@state.co.us. To view any of our most recently recorded webinars, go to our main website at Tax.Colorado.gov, select the drop-down arrow next to the Businesses option in the blue bar, and select the Tax Education and Training option. Under the Quick Links header, select Webinar Registration and Resources to access recorded webinars. Select Video Library from the Quick Links section to access other helpful tax training videos and tutorials. This presentation is intended to provide general information concerning Colorado tax topics in simple and straightforward language. Although we have done our best to provide accurate and complete tax information, this information is not binding on the Department of Revenue, nor does it replace, alter, or supersede Colorado tax law and regulations. We recommend consulting with a tax professional for your specific tax situation. The Colorado Department of Revenue is always here to help you be voluntarily tax compliant through education, assistance, and customer service. On behalf of the Colorado Department of Revenue, Tax Education and Training Team, thank you for your kind attention. We strive to continuously maintain and update training materials promptly. For the most up to date information, please frequently check the department's website and YouTube channel.